And listen, we're talking about how awkward this could get. What is your take here, Scott, on not only the finger injury for Anthony Davis, but once he does get healthy, will the Pelicans put him on the court in uniform?
I think that's a decision that goes above Alvin Gentry's pay grade, quite frankly, is what it sounds like. It sounds like the way that Gentry answered that question a couple days ago and the way he's kind of talked about it has changed, where he was saying, look, he's on the roster. If he's healthy, we're going to play him. He's our best player. And now it kind of said tonight, like, I don't really know how to answer that. And I think there's an understanding within the upper levels of the organization that that might be a question that gets answered from someone higher than the coaches. I think the coaches would play him if they could, but I'm not sure if that's what's actually going to happen.
All right, let's talk about job description and role definition with the general manager, Dell Demps. Do you believe, Scott, while the report came out today from ESPN that Dell isn't currently taking trade calls, do you believe he is the person of authority in the organization who will be able to pull the trigger on a deal or be able to say no to a deal?
I think there will be someone above him who will either decline or accept an offer. I do not think he is the last call, but I don't think he's been the last call. Mickey Loomis has been the last kind of person to sign off on everything for a very long time. So even if Dell Demps is the one kind of manufacturing the deals, it will ultimately come down to ownership, which is essentially the de facto Mickey Loomis is the person who really acts as the owner in the case of even when Tom Benson was alive and now that Gail Benson is sort of operating.
Scott, I want to throw an idea your way when we've heard so much speculation and we know how much propaganda has been thrown out, and a lot of it is people angling, whether it's agents or teams or whatever it may be. But while we've heard the Lakers and Celtics at frontrunners, one of the other things we constantly are hearing is that if the deal does happen to shock us and get done before Thursday, it would be from a dark horse team that we really didn't see coming. And my question to you is, if a team that is among the worst in the NBA in terms of record and has a chance to get a top 1 or 2 or 3 pick in the league in the draft, do they have a shot if they're willing to part ways with that pick to get Anthony Davis before Thursday?
Absolutely. I think every team that has young assets and has great picks has an opportunity to get Anthony Davis. There's nothing that's kind of out of bounds at this point. I think they're going to take their time. I'd be highly unlikely that they actually do this move before Thursday, and I really have before the trade deadline. But it really does seem as if they're not going to wait to see, like they want to wait to see where the draft lottery shakes out. They want to know if they can get 1, 2, or 3. You don't necessarily know where that's going to end up. So until those assets are really clear and until everyone knows what's what, I just don't see them under any rush to make this move. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to go ahead and push it out before the trade deadline just because Anthony Davis would like to leave before the trade deadline.